So good evening, everyone, and welcome to another week of a live market scan, right? And this is pretty much to just do an overall forecast of where we are in the week based on what has happened um, throughout the trading week that has just passed, heading and to see exactly where we'll finish off this week. If we start out by looking at where we were last week, Wednesday, compared to where we are now, I can say that since Wednesday when we did the session, you can tell that right off the bat that the US had definitely gained some strength. In fact, the strength the US completely disregard this overall push to the upside and just went straight through this resistance, this support level, and head back down into the area that we were initially anticipating the market to finish off its overall move. So we were saying that we wanted to see the market give us some sort of retest to this overall structure and then further continuation downside. However, the strength that we got out of the US Thursday, and even continuing throughout this week, we can definitely see where the market has pushed immediately down to the area that we were looking at. So from this level that we're at now, what do we expect out of the Euro USD? All right, so if we take out these, because we can see that the level did in fact hit, the market did in fact hit the level that we were looking at. However, it did not give us the retracement that we wanted to see, but we still got the price to head down into those areas that we're anticipating. Sorry. So pretty much how you want to be looking at these sessions is to simply assess the market based on what we discuss here each Wednesday. You take whatever you can from these sessions and you identify the key target areas. Look for the retest zones that I point out. Look for the target areas. Assess the market as the price as you get the price action to start to develop on the market, right? And then from there, you can utilize your own strategy that you would have for entries, and you can execute your position and try to capitalize on the overall moves that we see happening, right? So if we should take a look now at where we are out with the US dollar, and let's go back on the daily time frame now. This is where we are in the market. We got the full push down, completed this overall M pattern. And what are we likely to see out of after M pattern is we always get what? A retest back to the neckline before any continuation down, right? So that's what you would normally be looking to see out of this overall market. Now, the area that we want to be focusing on now, heading throughout this week and heading into next week, is this zone right here. We want to see what price action does as it approaches this overall area, right? So what we now that we're here, what we simply want to see what the market is doing overall. Our overall aim is to have price heading back down to these lows, right? So what we need to see, a break of this structure, retest, and then continuation down, or we're looking to see what? A retest of the neckline, and then from the retest of the neckline, you can take that trade to the downside, right? So how would we try to capitalize on this move? From what we're seeing here, this is the overall trend in the market on the 4-hour. We are in the downtrend there. This level would become our downtrend anchor, right? So this is the area that you want to be looking at. So for now, if you are looking to get a rejection out of the market, you would want to see the price come up into this area. And then from this area, we're looking to take the market down in these lows. Pretty much the same play. Sorry. All right. So pretty much the same play we're looking at. So we want to see the market to give us some form of retest of this overall structure that it just broke through, and then no continuation to the downside. So the overall target for Euro USD, it's to see price down in these levels. At least your first target point would be this low, right? So that's your first target point, and that's 101.0940. So that's what you're looking at. For pound, we were saying what? Based on where we were in the market, if we got the price beneath this level, 28.46, then we can definitely see the market push down into this area. If price pushes above, if price were to push above that zone, then we're looking for continuation to the upside. So we did not get the price to push above, it simply broke beneath the structure. So then we considered to say that we were looking for the market to head down into this overall area. So from here, we're getting what? A retest of these highs. So if we look again, let's just clear up all the work that we did from last week and to take back a quick look on the daily time frame to just to see exactly where we are. And this overall move, we were saying that if we look at the weekly time frame, it is still bearish. The market is still bearish. And the zone that we want to be watching is this area. We need to see the market coming back in to tie back into our 21 period moving average. And that zone there is about 26.30, that overall area. So we're still holding the pound to push down to about 2600 base in relation to the US dollar, right? So what we want to see again is rejection out of these highs and then further continuation to the downside. So if I pull it down now to the 4-hour, ideally what you want to see is the market approaching these overall area, right? And the target down here. So we're looking to see price action in this area. And from there, you can take the trade down. I think I already posted an overall trade idea for this in the academy, so you guys can check that out as well when you have the time. All right, so that's the overall play that I'm looking at out of the pound. What we got is the breakup of this overall structure, but the market simply respected the trend anchor, holding the to the downside, and we got a simple rejection out of these levels. So now all we want to see is a simple retest of that area and then continuation down. So that's what I would be looking at out of the pound in relation to the USD. So this structure here, anywhere in these areas. This is the overall zone that you want to be watching. And our target is down here, 2600. Key area of a price, that overall zone. Dollar CAD. Again, like I said, we were anticipating the market to push lower. Sorry. However, we had, like I said, immense US strength or dollar strength, and that simply pushed this trade to the upside. So what are the levels that we're looking at here now? And this is simply for further continuation to the upside. We already knew that the 32 level, a dollar 32, was a strong support zone for the market, right? Or resistance zone for the market going higher. We are expecting it to become a strong support zone for the market coming down. The next area that we want to be aiming towards now would be these highs, most recent high, and that's on $30.33. So that's a level, the immediate level that we would be shooting for. However, to get there, we still have price overextension on the daily time frame in relation to the moving averages. So we definitely want to see some other plays developing to the downside, whether it's through ranging price action. So we're not necessarily looking for the market to come back down to 32, but what we can anticipate is for the market to pretty much consolidate around these areas. All right. The same thing the market did the last time it was in that zone, right? Simple consolidation around these overall levels. So if we're anticipating the same play to happen again, whatever we see happening in the past, we expect that to come again in the future. We're simply anticipating now stalling price around these areas. So anything out of these levels, and then we aim for our target up there. Let's see if the market between now and next week, Wednesday, when we do the next session, if we'll actually get price up in these areas. All right, so this is the overall target. Your area to watch now is this this zone, 32, 34, or 32, 35, however you want to do it. All right, so that's the overall zone that you want to be looking at now for price continuation to the upside. If we get the market to push beneath this level and close beneath this level, then now we have no choice but to anticipate a push back down into these areas where, right into these areas, 31.80 thereabout. All right, but as I said, if I'm anticipating strength out of the US dollar, that's what we'd be looking to see, further continuation to the upside. USD JPY, we're expecting the market to give us a sell-off back down into these areas. We're completely stalled out. Yes, we have made attempts to come back down here, but it's literally moving like molasses. No, we're barely getting any movement at all out of the market. So this are still holding, well, I wouldn't be holding this. If I'm anticipating dollar strength, then all I'd want to see from this pair is price heading into this overall zone. Then from here, back up into these highs. All right, so this is the level that we're looking at. All right, and we are in support now. The market is actually in a level that we should be watching. So we might not get the push come back down here to test the support zone. We might just get the price to continue to the upside. So for that reason, I'll probably just leave that one there and hold the target. So what you want to do again is just to assess price action for where it's at right now. This overall zone. Assess the price action as the market develops and look for your entry to take a long opportunity back up into the 109.80 level. So those are the zone. That's a zone that we'd be looking for. All right, and I think this was a daily high that we were simply targeting. Yep, that's a level that we're targeting. All right, and then we'll have a look to see where we are if the market approaches those areas. Yeah, so we definitely might get some other play to the downside based on what's happening here. We might definitely get plays to the downside. So what we want to do is simply to assess the market as it approaches this overall area, and then try to capitalize on the move to the upside. Dollar Swiss. Again, The US strength definitely played into the market pushing higher. Said the areas that we're looking at was for the market to come back down, test the top of this zone 99, and then push higher. We didn't get the market to push as high as the 99 level. We got some price action coming out of the market on this pair. That's what, about 60 pips to the upside. And let me know if you guys able to hear me. If you're able to hear me now. Give me a one if you're able to hear. Hello? Okay, good, good. Just wanted to check to make sure. Let me know the last thing that you guys were able to hear, or what's the chart I was on when you were able to hear me. I didn't even realize that I didn't have any audio coming in. So if you can just simply let me know the last chart that I was on before the audio went. Okay. All right then. So we were pretty much in the same area. As I was saying, the market, we were looking at the market to come down and test this level and then push to the upside. It did just that. However, we did not reach the target that we were looking for, right? We're still having that target in mind, right, to shoot towards. So now that we got back another retest of this overall zone, and this was the initial area that I was looking at before. I wanted to see price action in this area before I would be confident enough to take a price to take a position to the upside. So that's what I was waiting on. So now that we got the price action down in that zone, the only thing for me to do now is to identify my entry point now to position myself to go long. And that's all I would simply be looking at. Right? So for USD CHF or dollar Swiss, I'll be looking at this target up here. So my overall bias on this now is to get another swing to the upside. And I'll be looking for my entry out of the market in and around this area where we are now. New Zealand, USD. Market did pretty much what we wanted, hit the level spot on. We just simply got a deeper retracement, market creating a double bottom formation here, and then continuation to the upside. And again, like I've always said, out of every double bottom or double top pattern, whether it's a W or an M, we always look for the retest back to the neckline. That's a general characteristics of the market to finish off that play. So my area or my target zone now out of this would simply to see price approaching this area. And then from here, we assess to see what the market does, assess to see the overall price action of the market and push higher. And if we look, this level here would have been the anchor holding this 4-hour trend in place. A break above this level would definitely see the price pushing higher. All right, so there wasn't much for us to assess on this because the levels were, we met the levels nicely. So from here, once we're back in this overall zone, then we can look again to do what? Simply swing the market back to the highs. It's just simple as that. Buy high, sell low. Sell high, buy low. All right, so that's all we're simply looking at out of the market. So this still looks good. So I'll just simply be watching this overall area. So the target level for me would be 63.72. That's a level I'll be looking at. This overall structure now as a USD, I was saying what? If we get price to come beneath this level here, let's see where that was, 68.74. I'll be looking for the market to head down here. However, my overall bias, sorry, my overall bias was actually to long the Aussie USD because I was doing what? Anticipating weakness out of the dollar. That didn't happen. We clearly got a lot of dollar strength. So that's why we're seeing a lot of the peers pushing toward the US dollar strengthening a lot against most of the peers that we've been looking at so far. So once we're actually hitting those levels right now. Oh, this is the news. Just a second. Look for the market to push back up. Just a second. Let me see how the data look. This is the one I want to see. Wow. This is actually very bad. Oh, man. Let's see if any other trades got. Just a second, guys.
It's amazing to be alive when niggas want you to die. Mad at every check you deposit. I see it all in their eyes. I'ma stunt harder. I'ma shop more. Black bellboy, first your rugs at the door.
Give me a second, guys. I have some positions open in the markets. I just need to assess them from, and I just need to assess them real quick.
Say I got a body. Or are they mad at me that the house got a lobby? Big folks feel split, let the folks slip. Tiptoeing through the city, out the Navy with a brick. Setting new milestones, getting my style on. Down in Coconut Grove where niggas don't smile on. City full of barbarians, what you like in Aquarius. Only beautiful bitches, they tell me the more the merrier. Fascinating faces, now it's top jewels. Pina colada daiquiri, slapping blue on a Tuesday. Got the Desert Eagle up in Fred Siegel. Only fat nigga in Vintage Moschino. Attempted murder, I refuse to exile. So it's club live till I'm X'd out. My gold casket, my final request. Banging at them like my child, they want to molest. Therefore I pray I live 100 years. Be a crutch for my kids all through their wonder years. Money, fuck up 100 mil. That's just a yacht in the crib, nigga dying to live. Champagne spilling the opulence. Side bitches remain anonymous. Got a condo on Collins, another on Sunny Out, making sure that you get around.
Wow.
Person I took her to Disney World. All I give is game, digesting my every word. Time to charter the plane.
This is a move I was anticipating, guys. For those who are a part of the Mentorship group. This is a play. This is the actual play. Remember, we wanted to see the liquidity coming out of the market. So that's a play that I wanted to see now. So now let's just assess the market as price progress. The levels that we have should, the entries that we had placed in the market should be triggered anytime now. So let's just watch and see what the price action will look like heading into the session heading into the London session. Because even though this data seems weak, we actually needed that data in order to push the price. So let's just see what will happen. So even for this market now as a USD, even with this data that just come out now pushing the price down, I'm not expecting to see the market come anywhere down into these levels. I would still be holding a long bias of this back up into these highs. Well, because it's Aussie USD, no, this one just might, because of the dollar strength, hold on, just might have a lot of range in price on this pair. Give me a second.
Money again, glad to stay on my feet, couple them on my chain. When I think about it, tour money. These niggas barely getting tour money.
Be alright, it's gonna be alright. Don't worry about nothing. You know? Gonna talk that shit for a minute. Put the Dutch out like the Cuban up. Dim the lights if you want. Cause we already shining. You know? Yeah. Try to get a grip, but you just can't clutch it. When the money's in a circle, the squares can't touch you. Reaping the benefits from the years that we suffered. If they don't know nothing else, they know I'm not to be fucked with. Chilling on the deck, brainstorming on the check. You don't see the bigger picture, you just see the silhouette. Keep your hold still for a nailer. Money on my mind, while I hold still for the tailor. 3-man weed, I dump it off to the trailer. The pack too loud, dump it off with the stealer. We pop bottles after shots of tequila. Might see me in some you can't cop from the dealer. Bobble gon' ring, Garrett Pew with bell staff. Work coming in, blow some and sell half. Made it to the top overnight, that's why you fell fast. Best head I got in my life, all Chanel bag. This is heaven on earth shit, give me my hell pass. Niggas trying to copy my style, but they don't sell swag. Nah, vacationing in the Maldives. Room service come to you on a boat. Chow, please. Don't get me confused though, cause I'll squeeze. Niggas know I get huge dough and wild keys. I will forever cash in. Oil money mean the wealth's everlasting. What?
Anticipate the market. Like I said, this one definitely looks like it to give us a bit of range in price action. So I expect the market to literally stall in and around these levels. So I wouldn't be calling out at any levels on this. I would definitely want to see what the market does around these areas. If we can get the market to simply close beneath this area, any push beneath this area, then we can look to the downside. If not, above here, and we're simply heading back up into these highs. So I'm not calling any levels on this. This is literally just to wait and see what the market is doing now. Like I said, this is really bad data coming out of the out of Australia now. Or else would have definitely gotten larger moves out of the market. I would want to see what it looks like as we approach in the London session come 3 o'clock. Yeah, but that's it. Not looking at anything for this. I wouldn't be calling out any levels for that. The market is definitely in a precarious situation now. For for gold, all I'd simply be looking at now for gold is simply consolidation out of the market. We should be getting back price, head back at least to these highs, at least into these highs. That's the overall area that we should be focusing on now for gold, for the market to come back there. We tagged this level a while back to say that we needed to see the price coming down here for gold, and this was the level that we wanted to see the market get beneath, right? I was initially anticipating, sorry, when we were here, I was actually anticipating the market to push a little bit higher, probably about to 1502, or even to 1516. Up in these were the levels I was actually looking at. Just I needed to see the market up here before I can consider getting any form of price movement to the downside. Market completely disregard all of that. And again, that was all due to the US strength. So we got that strong movement out of the market, sending the price all the way down to what, 14, I think it came down to 1445 thereabout. Right, I'm not even watching this. This was a fly in Forex pair in itself. So we got the market come down here, 1445 thereabout. And we were able to capitalize on this play yesterday by buying this all the way back into 1460. All right, so what we're looking at now is just for the play in itself to finish off, for the market to come back and tag back these levels. The area that you want to be watching, immediate area you want to be watching would be this area, 1471. So the immediate target that I would be looking at now out of gold would be 1471, and then from there you would possibly get back another push to the downside into back into this area. And then now to finish off this play back here. So the levels that you would want to be looking at out of gold is plays up into 1470, 1471 thereabout, and then for the market to pull off back down into these lows, 1455, 1456 thereabout, and then for it to push back to the upside. Right, so that's what we would be looking at out of these pairs in terms of the majors. If you guys have any questions, I think we did this for somebody. I don't remember exactly who had asked me to look at this last week, but as I remember doing it, and we saw the market. We were saying that we were here, wanted to see what price in this area right here, and then now we could sell the market off down here. The play pan out perfectly. We got the price to retest back these highs, and then from there we were able to sell it off here. I didn't take this trade, but hopefully, I don't remember who had asked me to look at this, but if you're here, I hope you had taken that trade. You would have made some nice profit out of this. At least what if you're selling from these highs down here, that's what almost 100 pips. That's a little over 90 pips there. Now that would wrap up this overall market scan on the majors. Now I'll open all the mic. I'll allow each person to unmute themselves. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. If you have any peers that you'd want me to look at, let me know as well. There ain't much that happened throughout the week, this trading week overall. Today was a pretty flat day for trading. Right, so we didn't see much movements out of the market. So it's simply to watch and see what the market is going to give us heading into finishing off this week and heading into next week. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. All right, no questions? Okay. All right, then, so this would conclude the session for this week in terms of the market scan. So we identify if we should do a quick recap. We're saying that we want to see what out of Euro, USD, the overall area for the market is to see price heading back down into these levels. 10940 for pound. We're looking for bearish price movement. However, we want to see confirmation back in the highs first. We need to see the market give us some form of movement to the upside before we take any shorting opportunities back down to 2600 or 2650 thereabout. Again, same play. We're anticipating strength for the US dollar head to finish off this week. So it's pretty much the same thing we're looking at again here. Retest and then continuation to the upside. Right. USD JPY, pretty much the same. NZD CAD. Okay, then I'll take a quick look on that. Right, so USD JPY targeting back 109.80. Same 99.94 thereabout for USD Swiss. Again, we're looking for price action back down into these areas for the New Zealand Kiwi dollar, and we're looking for what? Consolidation really in this overall area. So it's really just to see what the market is going to do in this overall area, right? And then now for this level here, we're simply watching for what? Price to push higher into the 1470, and then we can possibly look to sell it off. All right. So I'll have a look at NZD CAD first, and then I look at Euro CHF after. Immediately on the daily, we can see the price consolidating here. So we're in a we're in an era now where we definitely want to see the price pushing back to the downside. That's the overall range in price action out of the market here. Daily pretty much the same. So on the 4 hour, all we're simply looking at now is to see price action pushing back to the downside in a sense. Your target area for this would be back into these lows, or at least into your moving average. This is a 20 moving average. So your target for this now is to assess price as it pull back down in here. One thing to always remember out of the market is that every large impulse move always followed by a strong correctional wave as well. Right, so this is the overall target that you would be looking at for NZD CAD. Euro CHF. If the price go up to the 14 and hit the mark, then we sell. For Dev, I would. Alright. When I set out the levels there, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're selling immediately as the price hit those levels. What I'm simply doing here now is to give overall areas. You would definitely need to assess the price action as it approach these areas to identify your entry level, identify your stop loss, and then all I'm simply doing is giving you the area of entry and the target area. So if you utilize the information that I provide here and you apply your own strategy to that and do your own analysis as well, you now can build your case towards that overall play. Find your confluences, find your overall targets. But like I said, I'll definitely, if well, you're a part of the mentorship group, so I'll definitely be looking at this and I'll give out my overall entry from that based on my strategy, right? So I'll always if the opportunity comes into play for us to sell off gold, then I'll definitely be looking for that play, and I'll assess it and send and share the entry there as well, right? But you can also assess the market and then just simply let me know what your entry is, and I'll look at that and see if it aligns with my strategy, and to see, and I'll just give you my opinion on that as well. All right, Euro CHF.
She say her jaws hurt, she need to give her mouth a rest. These niggas falling out, only this gon' survive. These suckers reaching out, but ain't no need to try.
Already seen overextension of price here immediately, so I'll be looking back at these highs just to. Wow. This is an area for us to look at. So Euro CHF, I would actually be holding a short bias on this move. I want to see the market come back into here. Whenever you find a gap in the market like this that we're seeing here now, price, it's telling you that there's an there we don't have price action, or we don't have any form of price acceptance in this area since this is what, 2017. So it doesn't matter how long we want to go, price must find back its way in that overall area. If it takes a year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, it doesn't matter how long. But we know definitely that price must find back its way into that area, because we need to fill out that overall void. This is considered as an imbalance in the market, right? And we need to come and we need to balance out that play. So we always need to find back the price action down there. So this overall play would definitely to see Euro Swiss back down in this overall area, right? When will we get there? It's all dependent upon the price action that we're analyzing now. From the daily. So this is an overall area that we anticipate the market to be respecting these levels here. So once the price hits this area, so this is your overall area that you'll be looking out for price. So we're anticipating price to do what? Simply pull up in this level, and then from there we can look for entry to send back the market down in these lows. Because like we said, there is a void down there and we need to fill that void. So the market just need to take its time and find its way down there. So that's it. So that's what we'll definitely be looking at. For the market to find its way, the market to simply find its way down in this overall void. Right? And what we need, we are in a key area in the market now in support. So we're simply looking for what? Rejection out of the market now, or to retest the highs, right? And this area, if you look at the smooth downtrend or bearish movement, and we get in what? That one little red green candle there. So that's an area where price was comfortable in recent time. This was when yesterday, just 3 o'clock yesterday. So we know that price found acceptance there. So if it's rejecting the lows, where do we expect it to go back to an area that it's familiar with? Even though support, even though the resistance level is here, even though the resistance level is up there, we are in an overall downtrend. We're anticipating the market, the weekly and the daily is pushing to the downside. Very strong as well too, right? The weekly is also giving us overall downward movement. So we're in a downtrend in the market. So if we're playing to the downtrend, we're simply looking for further price to come back down. So all I want to see is the market to approach this area, and then now we can short the market back down into this level down here. And so that's what I would be looking at out of Euro CHF. All right. Any other questions? Any other pair that you guys would want me to look at? Because otherwise we can simply round up this call right now. And I'll see you guys again next week. GJ, I'm already in a position in GJ and I'm actually selling that now. I'm actually in a position selling that, but I'll look at it real quick. This was the area I was looking at. So if you're in a selling this, you actually entered in at a very good very good entry. All right, so if you're selling this now, you're good. As I assessed this again for the team earlier, so I don't really need to go into much details on this, but I know that once we got this push down here, we took some profit off the trade here out of this impulse move down, and we were waiting for the reset to come back up for a potential second entry. So if we are here in the market now, anywhere around 40, 139, 80, 139, 90, anywhere in that level would have been a good area to execute a position to the downside. It's still giving, and it's still set up to give you additional entries too. Based on what I'm seeing now, we're still good to get additional entries in the market. But the overall play out of pound yen is to see the market hit back 136. However, first target point is actually the 138 level. Right? So that's the first target point. Daily support, the 138 level. That's what you want to be looking at. Right, that's definitely the area you want to be looking at. Assess the price as it approach this area. 139 flat. Assess the price as it approach that area. If you entered in this high here, you might want to take some profit off the table as it reaches this overall zone. That's giving you what, about 60 pip. Not bad. Look for the market to retest. Look for the market to reject this level a bit, and then for continuation to the downside. So that's what I would actually be looking at. Not bad, not bad. All right. So I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. See you next week. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll always be available. Once I'm available, I'll just simply try my best to respond to you guys as quickly as possible in the group. All right. So I'll see you guys again next week for another weekly market scan.